or there we go.
There we go. That was a good reminder.
Yeah, and so we got it. Yeah. So that those that we have several that are out of town that couldn't be it, and they can listen to this later. But thank you, Carrie. You got a smile, not Carrie Flower, but the other one, because you got a great smile.
I am dealing for the first time in my life with allergies out here.
Oh my
It is
gosh.
killing me. It is literally killing me. I feel like I have this big knot in the back of my throat and sore
You know
throat.
what? You need to talk to the other Carrie Flower. She can tell you the same
Oh
thing.
my God. Never in my life have
Never in my life.
allergies.
I've lived in California amongst orange groves and olive groves and never had allergies until I
I'm
moved
telling
to
you,
the
this hit
desert.
me Saturday night and I went and had 2 COVID tests to make sure I didn't have COVID. And it's
gosh.
literally allergies and I am dying.
Well, I'm sorry. Okay, you don't have to smile, but you're so much cuter when you smile. We're glad to have you. And you know what is even more thrilling is Carrie actually has a camera in her office that works.
It's a beautiful thing.
She's only been a manager for several months now, but we finally got the camera working.
Sorry it took so long.
Oh, no. This may be, I am not sure, but this may be all of us today. So we're just going to go through this. We're going to be having these meetings every other week. So we'll be adjacent to Mark's meetings and they will be on Tuesday. In the past, we've had them on Wednesday, but we're going to change that up a little bit and we're going to have ours every other week. So you can just plan on every Tuesday. There's going to be a meeting and I think we'll have Carrie record them. What do you think, Carrie? So that you don't have to worry about anybody sending you minutes. You can go back and look at it, you know, and see, was she really kidding when she said that? Or let me look at her face and see if she meant it or not. I think we're going to be having Lance join us here too in just a minute. We had a great food service meeting yesterday trying to plan what we can do in the summer to add to what you can do. And Jackie, I want you to tell us all what filter you have on your camera because your makeup looks gorgeous. Look at that.
I don't
Doesn't she
have
look
any,
gorgeous?
nothing. I don't know. I just have the blurred background.
Well, let's all try the blurred because you look
Try
great.
it.
I think it's her youth as well. Just
Yeah,
saying.
that does
I'm
help.
not sure it's going to work for all of us.
Didn't you? No,
I mean, you all look fabulous.
we all look great, but doesn't she just look just rosy cheeked and wow, cute. Awesome, you guys. Well, we're going to be talking a little bit about, well, not a little bit. Most of our meeting today is going to be our summer planning. All of you have been asking, what can we do this summer? Are we going to be able to meet together as groups again like we have done pre-COVID? No. We are going to be planning our summers for our individual resorts is what we're going to be doing. If in the middle of the summer, we get a mandate that says we can meet together, we can then just put out an invite to all of the other resorts. So what we're going to be hoping that we can do is there are the ones that are local, and I have to apologize to you that are out of town, but this will still just give you an idea of some things that you can do during the summertime so that your summer people do not feel like they are being neglected or that we don't care about them, or what is it they call themselves, the ugly stepchild, or what are the things they say, because they're here all year long. You know, the philosophy of CalAm is these are vacation resorts. And so most of our planning and events and activities is for our season, for fall and for the winter and for spring, but we can't. We love our people too much. We can't just forget those that are here during the summertime. It's pretty easy. And I want to brainstorm, Carrie, and I've talked about it this morning, and we want to brainstorm a little. We'll give you some suggestions of things that we have seen happen, and then we would love for you to share things that you have done in the past that have been a great summer thing. Now, I see that Tracy isn't on here from Tower Point. Are you on here, Tracy? Can you hear this? Or I asked that a camera be put on. Carrie, could you maybe give her a call?
Sure.
That would be awesome, awesome. So, and Lance also, maybe call Lance first because I'd like for him to give his
here.
thing. Oh, you're here, Lance? Where are you? I don't see you. There he is. There he is. Awesome. Perfect timing. We had a food service meeting yesterday, kind of talked about the summertime a little bit. And Lance, would you just like to give them a little bit of an intro of what we talked about and are hoping we can make happen?
Yeah, so we are hoping to try and do, obviously redo our menus, do all that stuff, kind of bring us up to date. We really like input, on what people, like and are looking for this year. And we want to test out a few new items as well, revamping the menu and that type of stuff. But also we'd like to do basically a summer catering every week. So we want to basically pick each property and do one every week, since we can't really be shared at properties right now. So we'll kind of make an order of a list. So it'll go like, let's say it'll go Good Life, then it'll go like Canyon Vista, then it'll go Val Vista, then it'll go Montesa, and then it'll go, like Mesa Regal, then Apache Wells, and that type of stuff. So we'll make a list. So we'll probably hit everywhere twice this summer. And we're really excited. We think probably we'll do the same menu. So you'll get 2 different items basically throughout the summer. We feel like if, some people get a chicken dish, other people are getting like a steak dish, and that they won't be as happy, or you'll try to compare. We probably think one of those 2 items are going to be the Mongolian grill. We know everyone really loves that. Yeah, it's kind of like the summer thing that everyone looks forward to. So we're looking forward to doing that. We'll get that list out soon. I'm checking with everyone's availability here since we don't have a large staff in the summer. We're thinking it'll be earlier in the week rather than later in the week. Whether it's evening or afternoon, we haven't decided yet either. For us, we're kind of impartial, but just
We'd love your input, right?
yeah,
We'd love
we
your
think if you
input.
guys probably have more help during the day, it'll probably be better than having it at like 5 o'clock. So probably like 11 or 12 would probably be better. But I'll talk about that and kind of see.
And
what
we're looking at Wednesday, for Wednesday being the day that we have it. So it's kind of in the middle of the week, Wednesday afternoon, early evening type thing.
Yeah, so I'm talking, like I said, I'll talk with everyone here. If we can get everyone else's input, maybe you guys always have, like a staff meeting on Wednesdays that you don't really want to move and something. So we'll try to get the best for everybody. But we feel like it shouldn't be too bad to land on a date. The rotation, like I said, we'll just start with, whatever we can, and then we'll just go, but we'll be sure to hit everybody twice so no one will be left out. And we'll just kind of go from there.
So does that make sense to you, Christina? Doesn't
Now, I am a little confused. I mean, that sounds great, but my question would be so if you put us on this rotation and it doesn't work with our schedule, like if we're on vacation and we're on rotation to have a dinner, are we going to be able to work that out? And then
Yeah,
also,
so
I think we should be able to do
yeah.
that pretty easily since it's only 2 times during the summer you'll be having it, right?
Yeah, and I think before we even, like I said, we're gonna decide if we start this, late May or something, we have time to make the list and we'll send it out. And if everyone says, yeah, I can be there those 2 days, that type of thing.
Yeah, well,
That would be
my
good.
thought would be, why don't you tell us, and that was going to be on our list anyway, when you're going on vacation, what day will not work for you? And then we can work around that.
well, so the last time we talked, we were going to be able to do 1 food event per month. So
That's
is this
the one.
going to be the 1 food event for that particular month?
That's it.
Okay, because like if we have July 4th and we were already thinking about doing something surrounding July 4th, now we're not going to be able to if we have this catering event, correct? Am I understanding it correctly?
You need to, 4th of July and Cinco de Mayo, you need to be having something at your place. In fact, how many food caterings have we got, Lance, for Cinco de Mayo so far? How many of you have got a Cinco de Mayo planned? 1, 2, okay, 3. Perfect.
But like we have Mother's Day and Father's Day.
Yeah, those are holidays. Those are not part of your but we'll need to get it calendared and work it out with Lance's group. Now, some of those days, it may be that you just want, think about doing a luncheon, and maybe it be a chicken salad croissant, just a hint, because that could be made up, brought in a container with a croissant, and you guys could put it together. You wouldn't be able to have the catering staff. They could probably make it for you, right, Lance, you think? Yeah. And then you guys would just go ahead and have your little luncheon on your own. It's going to be one of these things where we don't want you preparing any food in your kitchen. You, as far as cooking it, you can be putting a hot dog in a bun. You can be putting chicken salad in a sandwich. We just don't want you cooking from your kitchens. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like the only 2 contracts we have for Cinco de Mayo right now are Canyon Vista and Montesa.
Okay. Okay, those of you, we need to hear what you're going to be doing for Cinco de Mayo. It doesn't have to be, I mean, it should already be in the works. So,
I wanted, personally, I just wanted to wait till this meeting before we decided, because I
Oh.
had some questions, so it will
Okay.
be done today
okay,
after our meeting.
awesome. Nikki?
We were gonna team up with our sales over here and do like chips, salsa, margarita type thing. Or does it need to be something more?
Well, just so you know, you neighbor up to Tower Point, you neighbor up to Mesa Regal, and believe it or not, I don't know whether they throw rocks at each other and say, "What are you having today?"
They
But
do.
they all seem to know what you're
They
having
do.
today. So it might just be a great idea to kind of partner up and say, "What are you doing?" Because you want to make it similar. They just are not happy people. If you have a Corona and I have a margarita, how rude.
Yes, agreed.
So yeah, let's do a little communicating here, and it doesn't have to be a full-blown meal, but you know what? They're expecting us to still. Cinco de Mayo was our last fiesta before they all left. So yeah, Jody.
I know that Lance put out a paper a long time ago that we had $5 margaritas. Is that something that we want to try to still incorporate, or do we do a single price to come to the
That's only
party?
yeah, that's only for the ones that are open.
Okay,
So
most
so
likely
don't
you're-
advertise.
Yeah, most likely your guys' license will be inactive the day after you close. That way people can bring stuff to the patio and be able to.
Well, what about at Cinco de Mayo then? Are we going to be adding the margaritas and the Coronas to their event? I mean, we need.
Well, we normally
we've
only had it we only had it at one place normally. So this would be the first time we've had it at 9 places. So we'd have to figure that out.
Yeah, it would just be stuff that we could drop off, whether it be walking tacos, chips and salsa, something easy that we can do. It cannot be the full blown, not if we're doing 9 of them. Yeah. Okay, Lance, are you thinking this? What do you think?
Oh, no, yeah, I mean, it depends on what everyone is doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, our staff won't be there, so it'll be something that you guys have to do and pay for basically.
Well, they'll be billed. I mean, if we're doing the walking tacos and stuff, I've just told them they can't cook in their kitchens, so we will
Yeah,
be.
I was more talking about the alcohol, yeah.
Okay, I see. Sure. Nikki.
We did walking tacos for the going away party. So when we had those managers party, that was like $5, I think. Are we still gonna keep them at those prices for the managers parties, or is the walking tacos gonna cost more? The only reason I ask is because if we are gonna charge them, I want to make sure it's covered on my side.
It just depends on which one you pick. So we made a $5 one that has
Yeah.
like a lot of limited items on it. Like we don't have the more expensive things like I think cheese and sour cream on it. Or you can go the full blow one. I think that is $7.95, which does have cheese, sour cream, and everything on it. So
Okay.
we just, like I said, we gave you guys the options to really pick, to be in the budget for that.
Okay.
And what about the margarita or the Corona, Lance?
Yeah, so I know at the parties, the party that we normally did, the Corona we gave away, but it was billed to you guys. So that's again whatever you got. The Cornita was like the mini one. But if we do that, or if we do the margarita, I mean, we could do $5 margaritas at the event. So it's really just up to what you guys want to do.
Or we just charge them for the margaritas and they can just, I think I'd like them to just hand them out.
Yeah, I mean, so it would be, I mean, if they're unlimited drinks, I mean, that could get pretty costly for the activity directors, but the cornitas, if you guys want to do those I don't have, so I will need to order those. So if you're doing those, I need to know by no later than April 22nd.
And those are
like,
the mini Coronas, right?
Yeah, and I don't have any Coronas right now either. So yeah, April 22nd, because that would be the last delivery day that I would be able to get them in before it would be too late to, we'd have to drive.
And if you need, we can come and pick stuff up if you don't have the drivers.
Yeah, Jeff will probably be staying through those since we have the other properties that are still open. So if we plan it, we can do one trip all the way around everywhere. But just depending, like I said, on what everyone's doing, and we'll have catering going out there too. So
we can
definitely try to fit
warm,
something up.
we just cannot cook it. We can
Yeah.
warm it. Okay,
Yeah.
Jody?
I just wanted to clarify, because we still haven't completely touched on the alcohol for that day. Would we have to have our license turned
would-
back on?
I would
Because-
just leave it.
Yeah,
My
so
understanding.
most likely we would just leave it on till then. Because I think it's like $200 to process it to go
Yeah.
off and on, but it's still, when you're talking about doing it 7 times and just the work for Camila to do that, wouldn't be worth it. So we'd have to hold off on everybody then after then.
Just leave it on until May 6th and everybody shuts it off. Yeah, Carrie?
I don't think we're gonna do margaritas over here. That's just not what we do over here. But how would I
How do
order?
you know?
Well, because it's hard liquor and we've never served hard liquor over here.
Yes, you
know?
have.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, see, that's great. That's news to me. I didn't know that. I think that'd be awesome. I think that'd be awesome. I think our residents would love it. But the Coronas, I know for sure
Yeah.
they would like.
We make them in the big buckets and then it just pours out,
Okay, now with the Coronas though, those aren't in glass bottles, are they?
They are. So I mean, mostly these
Inside.
events are also in the
Inside.
ballrooms. Yeah, because
Okay.
by May it's in the hundreds and people really don't want to be outside. But
then, yeah.
if you guys are planning that, to do that, we can definitely get the cans. But yeah, just by that 22nd date, I just need to know an amount for you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, now do we can't order those from our regular beer and wine order list from you? Do we
No,
send
this
you
will
a
just,
special
yeah, this will
email?
be something, yeah, you just email me. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. And those of you that are out of town, we'd love for you to be doing something, whether you order burritos from one of your favorite places or tacos or something that you can do. I can't read that. Steve thinks I have great eyes. Oh. Way to kill the momentum. I don't know where my keys are, Steve. What do you know?
Can I ask one more quick question, please?
Yeah,
Do you guys put up a list and have people sign up that are coming, or how do you know your account?
we do it through WinTix. I think Jill has used that in the past.
Okay,
And you put it out there on WinTix, and that way, if there should be some kind of a charge, unless, I mean, there should just be some kind of a charge for the event. And that way, that's how you have your ticket count. Also, how many is by what you sell through the WinTix program.
understood. Thank you.
Jode. You're.
I'm just wondering what type of price we're thinking. If we're gonna give away, alcohol.
You can
Where-
do tickets too. You can give them a ticket for
Okay.
their drinks so that they have like
Now
2 tickets.
the properties that are still open, they're doing $5 margaritas at their Cinco de Mayo. Would we still do $5 tickets at ours and have a POS system? And then everything else comes with the ticket, meal and the cornitas.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
you want to
you-
do like one, like maybe it's, I don't know, like a $15 ticket or something that comes with one margarita and then $10 for the meal, or whatever you guys are planning to do for the meal. I don't know if a lot of you guys are going to stick with what we're doing for the heat meat, whether it's the chicken enchiladas or the chili relano. You guys could do that too. I mean, that meal is technically $15.95, for them to have for the heat meet. So you could, do that, the same thing, and then have a margarita with it. It's kind of up to you guys.
Okay, so it would run us approximately, $15 for the meal and the margarita,
Well, I would think we do probably the meal.
or
might
maybe
be
a little less for
yeah,
us, but it would
yeah.
cost them, they'd get one margarita with their meal.
Yeah, and I think the meal would be cheaper too, just because we're doing that to consider all of the delivery and the containers
Exactly.
and stuff that we're
Right.
doing. So it's not really the bulk service of that. But I would just pick one of them, because if you have people picking, then it's gonna be a little bit harder.
And then just do it through the ticket system. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Okay,
If
awesome.
that works.
Okay, so planning, let's start planning what days you're going on vacation and what week would work the best for you, if at all possible, during the season. And they'll basically we'll be doing a rotation. You'll probably get 2 during the summer. We may though take off. We may not be doing it in August, right, Lance? You're on mute.
We were gonna say that was pushing it, but definitely not September.
Okay.
Because that's when we basically have events already starting and we're
Perfect.
coming in. So I mean, maybe the first week of August we can squeeze that if there's one more person that needs one.
Okay.
But also, like I said, we did include everybody.
weeks.
So we included Montesa, we included Apache Wells when thinking that we did need to do 9 places. When we talked a little bit later in the meeting, we were deciding whether or not that we wanted to do one at Sunflower, because I know they don't have a catering department, in the summer. So that might be a nice thing for them. We can maybe shoot that one out first and maybe just do one for them. That way they have something in the summer. But that was kind of something that we decided too. I don't know if
Yeah.
they're on the call.
Yeah, Nancy's not on here right now, but you know what, Lance, maybe you want to tell them what we're going to be doing sooner than later with
Yeah.
our inventory as far as employee. Can you want to tell
Yeah.
them?
Well,
about-
I know Brendan responded to that. I just know that we need to tell her as well, because if Brendan leaves, then we just want to make sure that everyone's up to date on that. Yeah.
Right. But you want to tell them about our employee appreciation
Oh,
luncheon?
everyone else. Yeah, sorry. So that was another thing for us. So we just wanted, as food service, wanted to thank you for, all of your guys' employees. We know that the maintenance team has come over and fixed stuff. You guys have come and helped run food, bartend, and that type of stuff. You guys have provided employees, office staff has helped us. So we're basically going to empty all the food we have out when we close and do a thank you meal for basically your full staff. So Rachel will be reaching out soon to kind of get a number from you guys. So this will basically be anybody that's working. And one day we'll either come do like a little buffet line, or we'll do like all, box lunch, a box lunch for everybody to have. And, we'll just pick a random day that will be coming. It'll just kind of be easy for us to figure out.
So those of you that are out of town, if you want to just do a thank you luncheon for the staff that we made it through this together. So I'm so sorry that we can't do this for everyone that's out of town. But when you hear these messages, just kind of take that as maybe I should be doing something for it too. So we always at the end of the season have quite a bit of food. It's hard to plan on what we've got, what we need. And so we're just going to bring it in. So you don't talk to anyone. Some of you may have different items because we're going to be making different menus out of, I told Lance, there's nothing more that I love to do than open up the fridge and say, what can I create with this? And so we'll be creating some wonderful, but we want your staff to know how much we do appreciate what they've done this summer or this season. Lance's group was running their legs off, but they couldn't have completed it without you guys being runners, without you having your work campers come in and help set up tables and chairs and just being part of the team. And Lance and I were talking about it yesterday, and it was definitely a team effort, and we really appreciate it. So not that we're giving you leftovers, it will all be freshly prepared. Thank you from the food service staff. So we're excited about that. We're hoping to get that done in the next couple of weeks. As soon as your grills close, we're going to be inventorying. We'll be inventorying VDOs, walk-ins, also all of the grills food will be. So hopefully we're going to have it done here right after Cinco de Mayo. We'll start getting that all scheduled to have our thank you lunches for you. So anything else, Lance, you want to bring up to them?
No, if there's any other questions, like I said, it's really just figuring out those little details, and we'll send a list out and make sure it works for everyone, and we'll kind of go from there.
So thank you. Thank you, Lance. Well, we're
Thanks
going
so
to
much,
talk about
guys.
summer calendar, putting stuff on your calendar. Thanks. Well, I gotten a couple emails from you, and so I did want you to know that we will not be probably intermingling this year, but we want to talk about your summer calendar. Some of you have already been sending your little list of what you plan on doing, and it's exciting to see what you've got on there. But I wanted to brainstorm a little bit. So I'm going to give you a few things that I, as a past activity director, have done, and things that we have seen happen, and then you be thinking about it and you can add on. Nikki, you're going to recognize this because I sent this to you years ago, and it's been many years ago that I was an activity director, but I would always look at who the staff, or not the staff, who the residents were that were there during the summertime. It's surprising that those people do not come out, a lot of them, during the season. They are one of those that kind of hide in. They don't like the large groups, but when summer comes, they come out. And they're always looking for something to do. Find someone that you feel you could work well with, and do a lunch bunch group. There are so many restaurants around the valley that are also struggling because during the summertime, people aren't visiting quite as much. So if you have someone that you can work with, it can be your assistant, but volunteers love to do things like this. I always had a volunteer that did it. You call ahead, like to an Olive Garden, and you say, on the 12th, I would like to, 12th of May, I would like to reserve for about 15 to 20 people. We need individual tickets, but we want to come as a Good Life Resort, and we're going to have a luncheon, and reserve a spot so that they're ready for you, so you don't all show up and they have they don't have enough cooks, or they don't have enough servers to help. So you make plans ahead of time. A lunch bunch. I used to do it every week. They loved it. There were tons of places they wanted to go to. And now, since I was an activity director, Gilbert has blossomed into some amazing places that people would love to go and see. So have a lunch bunch, organize that. And many of you are planning a summer movie, which is wonderful. Well, people don't like to heat up their kitchens, and the fact is they don't like to eat alone lots of times during the summertime. So plan a movie where you order pizza in. You charge them for a couple slices of pizza. You divide up what a pizza of 8 costs, and you just put it on Wintix. And so they don't want to order a whole pizza anyway. They can't eat it all, so they can come and watch a movie and have pizza with you, or have the hot dogs and have hot dogs in a movie. And then, of course, your famous ice cream socials. They love the ice cream socials where you have those. Well, change it up a little bit. Maybe it's pie and ice cream, or maybe it's a banana split like you have done in the past. Make it something like that. Now, they love the salad luncheons. Unfortunately, the salad luncheons that we used to have is we provided the dressing and we provided the greens, and they brought all of the toppings. That will not be happening anymore, but you can still provide a salad luncheon, and you have all the toppings. I mean, we've got Ranch Market right here, or some things keep forever, and you just buy a couple of containers of the cherry tomatoes and a long cucumber, and you slice it up, and you have a $5 salad luncheon. They just like to eat together. They like to gather. They like to be social. And then you provide the water and the lemonade and the coffee, or whatever the drinks are that your residents like. You should still be doing your coffee and donuts, whether it's just you don't have anything to tell them except that what's going to be going on that week, but they like to gather. So make sure that you are still doing that. Book club. Carrie and I did a book club, and the women are still talking about it and begging us to do it. We unfortunately can't use the Lifestyle University, but a book club is something that's fun. You can find a resident who will chair it for you, or heck, you and your assistant just take turns every month reading a book, and then having people come in. It does not have to be where you serve them a full-blown lunch like we have done. We spoil them and we have to stop that. But you have them come in and you do like cheese and crackers or a fruit tray and you just talk about the book and what you liked about it and what you didn't like about it. There's actually on Google, you can go in and talk about book clubs and it'll tell you how to run a book club. In fact, you can even on some of these sites type in what the book is and it'll give you the list of questions to ask. And really, they take off with it. That's really all you have to do is just be there to say, well, okay, what did you think about the book? And then ask the questions and they chime in. So that's really not a cost, but it's something you can do with them. Carrie mentioned that while she was over at Good Life Interim, that they loved, what was it, Carrie, they loved to do?
Card bingo. Card bingo. I think they did it every week and it was a big turnout.
I think Nikki has done it with candy even, and they like to come out. They just like to socialize. They just have little cheap tchotchke Dollar Tree prizes, and it seems like food or
It is
chocolates or
popular.
candy is the hit there for them. Game day. All of you have games. You have ladder golf. You have ping pong. You have puzzles. Put a puzzle in not a room that they're all by themselves, but in the ballroom over in a corner with the light over it so that they don't want to play games. They can still be part of the party by just sitting there with the puzzles. Bring out your boss toss. We have over here in Decor 2 huge tubs full of games that if you wanted, we have Rummy Cue, we have Yahtzee, we have all sorts of things. Or you may already have them too. Mexican Train, you can have dominoes out. We've got the giant Jenga. It's just a game day. You don't have to sit there and be there the whole time. Just say, we've got games in the Coco Pelli room. Come on over from this time to this time and let's play games together.
How many of you played Phase 10? I just played it all
Oh, I
week.
love Phase 10.
I mean,
There you go.
Maybe just
I've played it.
you haven't played. And they're just cards, so they're inexpensive to buy, and it was so fun. We
And
had
you can even have a bridge table up for people that want to, yeah, actually, if you put stuff out and let them know, and you just announce at a coffee and donut, you know, we're going to have a game day. What are some games you want to play? Or, you know, and they'll all be quiet for a while. No one will say what they want. And then all of a sudden somebody will say, well, you know, I like Mexican Train, or I like dominoes, or I like cribbage, or, you know, just put out some. I even had, when I was an activity director, a chess game out over in a corner and guys were playing chess. I really, really thought that it was a dying game. Who plays chess?
Backgammon is fun.
Absolutely. Just lots of things out that they can choose what they want to do and then just tell them to bring a friend.
Sorry, I started to print. My cousin came. So
Game day is great. Your paint and sips, those have been so successful. There's really, if you have the supplies, there's no reason why you couldn't just during the summertime do some of those. Takes a couple hours and you could just do it once a month and have that. Now, Diana, just an FYI, our do it yourself, she will come in and teach a craft at your place if you want her to. So you just schedule that. What are you saying? What are you saying? You're doing it yourself, Nikki? That's awesome.
Oh, I wrote her and she said no.
I just talked to her yesterday and she said yes. So
Oh, good. I don't want to do it.
darn, I might have some connections you don't have. Bring it on through me.
Think you're
That'd
right.
be awesome.
Starr, do you know what the charge would be for the do-it-yourself craft?
Probably $5. I mean, and if it's a cheap thing and we've got stuff, we'll just pop on there $1 or $2. But you know, it's something that we can
So
start
5 to
bringing-
10,
probably 2 to 5. I would say.
2 to 5. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it'll move. But there is also a website that's wonderful for you. Our people like to give back. The people that we have at our resorts are very wonderful people. There's a website called justserve.com, which you can type in your zip code, and it will tell you all of the charities in the area that are looking for volunteers. And you can go into, call them and ask them if they need anyone to come there and volunteer, go as a group and volunteer. There is one that we did a couple of years ago, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
easy, and it's called Feed the Starving Children.
Yeah.
All you have to do is just sign up, tell them how many people are coming, and you go there together. And then maybe you go to lunch afterwards, or you go to Dairy Queen together. But there is nothing that gives you such a good feeling than to go and serve, and then find out that your 2 hours of service is going to feed 97 children in foreign countries. Our people love to do things like that. You probably right now have boxes out where people are putting out their food that's going to be for the food bank. So they do like to do things like that also. So Carrie, you got any more you want to add? Just some suggestions? And I know all of you are just bustling to chime in. So,
You know, I know one thing that was, I know you've all done luau's and all that kind of stuff. We did one during the summer at Good Life last year, and I wasn't sure, you know, I thought, okay, we've done all this, but we did hula lessons, and I found a hula class on YouTube to Tiny Bubbles. And I thought, well, maybe we'll get a few people to do this with us. So we announced it at a Coffee and Donuts. We had about 15 women over the summer get up in front of all their spouses and do the hula.
and they
during
practice
party.
during the summertime, and then you
And it
put the
was
luau
so
on at the
fun.
end,
And then
right?
we got
Yeah.
some of the men up there doing it with us, and we kept doing it. And we had shaved ice. Don't forget, we have our shaved ice machine. Hopefully we'll be able to use that
Absolutely.
this summer
Absolutely.
again. And just did that. And I think, what else did we serve on that? I think we just got some cookies over at
I think
Costco.
so.
Honestly, that's all we did. But, and then I did a slideshow presentation of Hawaii.
You probably still have it.
I'm sure it's still over there, and I gave like a walking, you know, a tour of Hawaii on a slideshow. I mean, and then some people chimed in, oh, we've been there. And I've been to this park in Hawaii and things like that. It ended up being a fun event that we weren't sure was going to like be that big.
Now, and here's an FYI too. Bing, good call, Carrie. You just put on a light bulb, because we're going to be a Western theme. Maybe you could have some little Western line dancing for some of those that maybe don't know how to do it. And you can teach one of the easy classes during the summertime for them. So, yeah. Anyway, anybody else have any suggestions or things that they have done, or new activity directors that have been saying, I've been thinking and I want to try this?
I wanted to mention that when we had our employee appreciation dinner here, we played a game of Family Feud. And I have to tell you something, these people absolutely loved it. It became hysterical. It was a lot of fun for them. So I have a feeling we're probably going to end up doing that this summer for sure in our rec hall.
Great idea. Yeah. Christina, what do you got?
Speaking of Family Feud, so for coffee and donut meetings, when we don't have a lot to talk about, we'll play games with the residents that do show up.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of fun. So they're not just sitting there, you know, hearing us say, okay, here's your coffee and donut and nothing going on.
And nothing going on. Stay
We'll
cool.
play games and we get to know each other a little bit better.
That's a great idea. I know that Deb Cannonberg has done like, let's make a deal or things like that. What's behind curtain one? You choose curtain one, curtain two, something. Yeah. Yeah. That's a great idea. Jody.
When I was over at Mesa Regal and sales would have a few prizes instead of doing the raffle tickets, especially during COVID when we didn't really want to touch a lot of stuff, we would set up a cornhole board and they would line up only one board and everybody had one chance to try to, you know, launch it in. And then we'd have a cornhole off if there were several people that made it. And it was a lot of fun.
And then you can give them cornbread.
And that's what sales did. They ended up going from the cheesy little prizes because they got kind of scolded. Like, what do we need a toy for? because they were doing up baskets. And they started picking up specialty breads and pies and stuff. So
Everybody loves food.
people were very
Food.
excited
Love
to win and to play along, and it
Candy.
kind of lightened things up. We also did a thing that we did in Michigan, which is heads or tails. And I think Karen still does that one there, where you flip
Nice.
a quarter. They have to decide ahead of time. If they're heads, they put their hands on their heads. If it's tails, they put their hands on their hips. And even the people sitting down can still play,
Mhm.
you know, if they can't stand well. You flip the coin, and if it's tails, anybody that still had their hands on their tail, they were still in the game, and you just keep going until one
Great.
person.
Oh, that's
It's a
kinda
lot of fun. You get them in a big circle.
Yeah.
Cute.
Left, right, center, you can do in a big group, and that's fun.
Nancy just got back from a cruise. Nancy, tell us, was there any games you played, or were you just flirting with entertainers the whole time?
Well, first of all, I want to tell you that Josh Turner gave me his guitar pick. Do y'all know who that is? What? Yeah,
Country, I'm guessing.
Frankie, you know who it is. Harry, do you know who Josh Turner is? Holy heck, you
It
guys.
sounds like a
Okay.
country guy.
Well, yeah, with a really deep voice.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
do you know who Lee Greenwood is?
I've heard of
yes.
Lee.
Proud to be an American.
America.
Yes, that I've heard.
No, I'm free. I had a great conversation with
fun
him. He
now.
signed my cowboy hat. I wish I would have had my cowboy hat here, but frankly, I have to be honest with you. I totally forgot about this meeting, and I'm so sorry, Carrie and Starr. But maybe I'm still sailing on the ship. I don't know, but
Good news, Nancy. It's
Yes.
being recorded. So this afternoon,
Oh,
when you've
good.
got time, you're going to be
Really?
able to watch the whole thing, and it will now be recorded that you forgot the meeting.
okay. Oh no, I'm so sorry.
No
Okay.
deleting.
Okay. So I'm gonna make it up by telling you a quick joke. May I?
Oh, a joke. Okay, yeah.
Okay,
In fact, you
Vicky,
should
come
all
on, smile.
have
It's gonna
great
be a
jokes.
good one. Okay. So this pirate, he decided to get his ears pierced, and he was so pleased that it was only gonna cost him $1 an ear.
That's a good one.
I'm sorry. Just walking from here to the ballroom, I got caught up talking to residents,
We
making them
know.
happy.
We know.
That happens.
And that's what we want. Well, welcome back. We hope you had a good time.
Thank you.
And
It
these
was
meetings
wonderful.
are going to be just so that we can all brainstorm, and we love to share. So thanks for sharing. Now, Christina, you keep raising your little fingers. Get it up here. What do you need, sweetie?
All right. Okay. So this is a topic that I hate to bring up, but I have to, and it's about potlucks. I know. But I saw on Facebook last night that my summer residents are planning to have one every single month in the social hall, and they haven't even asked me about it.
Oh.
So with that being said, I'll just have to somehow figure that one out and tell him no. But we have people that are filling out room reservations for next season for their potlucks. So I can go ahead and 100% tell them no potlucks.
No, they can have potlucks at their home. Or
Okay.
outside.
Okay, so with that being said, when we have movie nights or karaoke nights, we do have people who are bringing in like cheese and crackers at their table or whatever. It's not a potluck.
They're not sharing it. They're eating it themselves.
Sure. Yes, they are. Wink, wink. So crap, this is
You're not going to
recorded.
be the police. You cannot be.
Okay. Because we've even had like charades. I found out after the fact that they were taking cheese and crackers or cookies or whatever while they're playing charades. I mean, that's just a big thing
It's just
when they're playing
food.
cards.
Food gathers people. I mean,
I know.
how would it be if you went to a Super Bowl and there was no food?
I know. So as long as they're not calling it a potluck and they're not gathering and bringing a ton of food.
You can almost say, bring your favorite treat. Don't put share, to share.
Okay. Bring a treat that you're going to eat. yourself. You're going to feed yourself into your mouth, no one else.
That was a rhyme.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, Carrie.
I wanted to know, our situation here is a little different from everyone
Yes, it
else's.
is.
We have an activities board. So our activities board has burger nights. They don't, no one brings in food prepared from home or anything. They purchase the burgers, they cook them on the grill. People pay for their tickets. And then, you know, they have like potato salads and cookies that they've purchased at Fry's or whatever. Is that still okay? So
As
because
that's your
they've been raising a
that
lot
is
of
your
money.
activities board. This
Yes,
is your
ma'am.
activities. This is an activity
Okay,
for right now. Yeah.
But is that still gonna be allowed in a room? Because our potluck people may say that that's what they're doing, bringing something from home and
No,
sharing.
they're not cooking anything at home.
no, we
Jody.
have receipts for everything. It's
This
been
is
a-
purchased
Well,
elsewhere.
that's what I'm saying. Is that okay for our people as long as they've purchased it at a store? They can have a room?
No, this is, they do not have an activity department at all. This is their activity
I
board.
understand that, but you're still allowing them a room.
But they're not in the room, they're out on the
They're
patio,
cooking at
and
home.
they are
Okay.
purchasing it and selling tickets, pre-sold tickets. You can only do it.
Understand.
Their
if you bought a
activity
ticket.
department. Yeah.
Understand. We have the same thing at a sports court, so.
Yeah.
Understood, thank you.
Yeah.
Right. So would that be okay? I know it's hot during the summer, probably won't happen, but could they go down to their sports court and do a barbecue? And everyone contribute something? They're not necessarily,
We're not involved in it.
but we're
We
not.
cannot be
involved.
involved
It's a
in it.
private
We're not
party.
asking
It's a private
questions.
Party, yeah.
No, it's a private party. In
Private
fact,
party.
You know,
But it could happen.
one at
I
one
wanna
of the
go down.
resorts, there was a gathering, and it was all potluck, but they invited one of our activity department people. We asked our activity person who knew it was wrong to leave. We just can't be involved in it. I mean, if you're invited to it, you cannot attend potlucks. That's, I mean, you're now saying this is okay. Yeah, even
And if you live there, like I know Christina lives there, Jody, you know, not just
Yeah.
really steer away from that.
I mean, I'm sorry. It's just, this is a call, just
Sorry.
like our
Yeah, you got your
masks
hats
are.
on.
And truly, if, I'm not saying that every one of our residents has a perfect hygiene. Some people, you know, don't even wash their hands when they go to the bathroom. Come on. You know, we don't know how how they are handling the food. We just cannot be in a 55+ community where we are saying, particularly during this COVID 2-3 year nightmare that we've been in, that we are going to allow food to be brought in that we do not know that the hands are being sanitized, that gloves are being worn, that the food is being stored at the right temperature, that hamburger is not bleeding down onto a salad because it's thawing on top of it. You know, we don't know. We don't know how long that sat on the counter because before they put it in the fridge. So we have to, if our older people get sick from food poisoning, it can kill them. I mean, food poisoning is terrible. Yeah, so we don't want to do that.
Or
So-
even expired canned goods, you know, you just never.
Now,
know.
don't bring that up, Carrie. My kids do that
I'm
all
the
the
queen
time.
of that. My kids go through my pantry and
Mine too.
everything's expired.
My daughter paid my 2 granddaughters who said they were bored and they were at my house and I was at work to go through and clean out my pantry. I got home, there was flipping nothing in the pantry. Even a 25-gallon of the rice vinegar. Tossed it.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I'm really sensitive to that. Anything else you can think about that you want? Oh, Jackie, yeah.
I just have a question about decor, like for Cinco de Mayo. Is that something that you guys can mail something? I think the decor truck is not coming anymore.
I think the decor truck, I think it's done.
It's
I
done.
think you might, you can get a hold of Diana and see like if Steve, I I think we did our last run. I think Bob went down there this last week, didn't he, Jackie? We have no more, by the end of this week, we have no one left in
Okay.
decor except Diana. So,
The other thing was we have a lot of puzzles, and Valerie had mentioned that I could send some back.
yeah, you can.
Okay.
You box them up. What we have is, and a lot of you probably don't know this, but you can box your puzzles up and you request that decor brings you a case of new puzzles or puzzles that
Oh,
your
wow.
people have not used before. We recommend that you 40 puzzles is all you should keep at your place. You don't need 500 puzzles that you're storing. If you want, you just every month just say, I want a box of fresh puzzles, and they will come and pick up your old puzzles if you've got them boxed and drop you off another box of puzzle. We have a whole container storage
And
room full
that
of,
would be during season, not right now then because of the summer.
but you know, I'm probably going to be going down there in the next month. Jackie, I could probably bring some down to you.
Oh, okay, okay.
Mhm, mhm. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, Christina.
Are we gonna talk about other things besides summer? Because I have a few things on my list.
Not yet.
Okay, but we are today.
No.
Okay, no?
Whatever you want to talk about, a lot of these things we're going to cover during the summertime. But if you have something that you're dying to ask right now, go for it.
Okay, well, you wanted me to bring something up about
Yes.
the bands and
Mhm.
and what Nancy had found with the bands and the different band members, and then I emailed you.
Yes.
Okay, so
Talk about that. Nancy or Brennan had emailed an email saying that they
Yeah,
had some popular bands that people loved, but sometimes they were on, sometimes they were off. They weren't great, and found out that it was because the lead singer, they were booking like they had like 5 different bands, and the lead singer was the best singer and
it
only was hit and miss.
right, and y'all might be familiar with Soul Impressions, Desert Coyotes, and Desert Star Band. And it's Greg, I think it's Betzik. I have to pull the file. I think I pronounced that correct. But yeah, the Desert Coyotes showed up, and it was the keyboard was Ron Sperling from Michelle Lynn's group, and Jumpin' Choyas was the lead singer. So it was as though it was kind of just pulled together. And although they were pretty good, but at one point in time, the lead singer accidentally said something about Jumpin' Choice. I mean Desert Star Band. So I don't know how I feel about that.
Well,
Yeah,
Christina did have something she wanted to bring up about that. So that's why I asked.
So yeah, so we have had, especially during COVID, we've had a couple of different bands that at the last minute were like, oh my gosh, so-and-so has COVID, we can't make it. But you know what? Instead of us canceling at the last minute, I can get somebody else to come in and do this part. And I'm like, great, because I mean, if it's not the lead singer and it's just somebody else in the band, I'm totally okay with it because they're saving me from scrambling at the last minute to try to find another band. And I've never had an issue, but like I said, if it's the lead singer, I may think differently about it and just figure it out at that point. But if they're just replacing a few other band members, I am totally okay with that. And I know with like Christy D, if she can't bring a couple of her girls with her, she'll bring a couple of guys from Mogollon, which is fantastic. So there are a few bands that will need to do that for different reasons, but like I said, if it's the lead singer, I may have to think twice about it.
So is that something that in your contracts, do you want to have a clause that you need to be notified if the lead singer is going to change or if something's going to change? It was something that really I hadn't ever thought much about.
And honestly, I don't have a problem with that either. If there is through illness or something that somebody has to be replaced. I understand that. But it seems to me with this group, it's with Greg's 3 bands, that it's common practice.
And I think
I
he has
think
more
that's
than
the
3
one.
bands. He gave me a list of about a half a dozen
Oh.
bands.
Yeah, and we don't use him anymore here, actually. So,
Yeah, and he called me the other day, well, it was a couple of weeks ago, and he called me the other day, he said, well, I usually get 13 bookings at Sunflower, and I'm just waiting for more bookings or whatever. And I don't know, something kind of made me feel a little
Well,
uncomfortable.
and sometimes, you know what, they don't tell the truth either. The first day
Yeah.
I was an activity director, Irv Rutzel walked in, which is a name from the past. He was a big band, and he says, today is your lucky day. I'm going to give you
Oh.
first chance to book me. And I was just like, okay.
Are you serious? Oh my gosh.
And I didn't know. Yeah, so I booked him a lot and found out that wasn't my lucky day that day.
You know
Well,
what, real quick on Greg though, when I've hired him, Soul Impressions, so I hire his different bands, so I know, so I'm not sure what happened to you, but I hire Soul Impressions and I know that's what I'm getting, but he does have several bands, but I know going in that I'm hiring his different bands. So I don't know if
Yeah.
because he's got Desert Coyotes, he's got, those are the
And Desert
Soul Impressions.
Star.
But I'm aware that they're gonna be some
Different.
different band members in
Yeah.
there, because I know that he's got different bands.
But what about the lead?
The
Are you
lead, yes.
aware that he may not be the lead then?
It depends on which band he's bringing.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm
By the
aware-
way, Soul Impressions is going to be at Sunflower Friday night.
It's gonna be different than, he's gonna have different people than when Desert Coyote comes in.
Yeah. And we just have to be careful because you know what? If you have Thaddeus Rose and Thaddeus doesn't show up.
Yeah, true. That's a good point. Good point.
Yeah.
Can we go back just really quick? You all mentioned Mogion. I'd like to get in touch with Mogion because even I used to know them outside the walls, not too many years ago, but a couple of residents have mentioned Mogion. And if anybody has a contact that they can.
Oh, we
give them-
have, we all have contacts. They're very, very
Yeah.
pricey.
Okay, because
It would be a very special event band you would want to use.
And
they're
Tessa can't
spendy,
afford them.
right?
One time.
Yeah. Jody.
What did you say,
Um,
Sharon?
I just said Montessa can't afford Mogion.
Oh,
Yeah. Well,
So
Sunflower.
yeah, Star?
I think you could afford them once in a while. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Do we
once-
know how much they are? I mean, are they over?
They're like $3,000, $2,500
What?
to $3,000.
What?
They're asking for
Holy
3
moly.
grand.
oh,
Yeah. There you go. Did you wet your pants yet?
Gosh, I better learn how to play my accordion.
Nancy,
I
you
brought
can,
my accordion's in my office, by the way.
Awesome. I have
Nancy,
one
you
too.
can, Nancy, you can send your residents over to Mesa Riga. We will have them. We can
Oh.
share.
Really? Okay, okay. Do you want to borrow my accordion?
Well,
Let
I
me-
will.
I've
I
got
will
to
set
tell
up
you
a
something
demo.
about an accordion. I don't know how to play it, but it's beautiful though. I don't know how to play it. I spent 15 minutes of my life trying to find the on-off switch, Tina. And guess what? There is no on-off
is
switch.
no-
on the accordion.
I
So
think,
don't
I
waste
think,
your time.
I think it's
actually-
not the accordion. I think because they are 4 really good looking gentlemen. And I think this
Yeah.
is what they're charging right now.
And their fiddle is pretty good too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Christina.
So what I was,
Go ahead.
I didn't
Jody,
get to
I'm sorry.
talk yet,
Go ahead.
sorry.
Jody.
What I was gonna say about Greg, I think I put that in the notes, that he's like a used car salesman. You have to be very
Oh,
careful
yes.
because he is gonna try to push you for as many bookings as possible. He only pushes the Soul Impressions and Desert Coyotes over here, but he's saying that he's got all these bands and,
Mm.
you know, he's these projects that are gonna be more expensive. I can tell
Yeah.
you one thing, we almost blacklisted Soul Impressions, but he said that it was a fill-in guy, but we had to call the ambulance
Oh.
and he was taken away.
Oh, wow.
We had to do chest compressions on him.
Oh.
And he was taken away and he got out of the hospital at 3:30 and I
And you
talked to
would
Greg.
blacklist them for that?
Would you
He had a
keep
heart
a
attack.
band? No, he didn't have a heart attack. It found out later, he did 3 shots before knew that he was a band member.
Hmm.
And he was trying to get
Wow.
up on the front of the stage instead of where the steps are and fell backwards. And then he was like, oh, I'm fine, and kept playing, and he passed out.
Wow.
So it
that's-
wasn't that he had a heart attack that we would
Okay,
blacklist
I thought-
him. No, he was being very.
Up again, Carrie.
Yeah, that Greg was gonna allow somebody in his band that would do that. So Greg said he was out of the band.
Wow.
But still, I'm not real comfortable booking Greg much this year either.
Yeah, thank you
So-
for sharing that. And Jody, I was surprised too to see that he charges Sunflower $8.50 for
Yeah,
each one of those bands.
I think we
And that
paid,
doesn't make sense to me.
I think we, for 3 hours, it was 700, now it's 750.
He's
He's
charging
asking.
different rates over here, just saying.
Yeah.
Let me
Well,
pull
that's
up
why-
the list that I sent to
Yeah, that's why
everybody.
Jody and Debbie were trying to work that so that we would all negotiate.
Yeah.
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 Now, some
yes.
of them, if they
saw
have to
that.
drive a little further, it's gonna be
Right.
understandable that it's gonna be a little more.
Mhm.
Right, I
Um,
understand that. And like Urban Crossroads, I like to get them back. And
Yeah.
they're charging us 1,000, I think 800 for one of you. came
It was
through for, like, the
800,
email.
but I negotiated 750 if we had quite a
For
few
all of us.
bookings.
Yeah, we're 1,000, but I just sent them, I haven't heard back from them yet. I just sent them an email to see if they would do a 3-hour for us at 900.
And Nancy, you need to let them know that when you are when you're talking, you shouldn't have to be negotiating now. Deb and Jody were supposed to be our negotiators and get us all the same pricing.
Yeah, that
So
list
that-
that I
Oh,
sent you.
All
did
yours
not
would be is a
understand
little
that.
travel time. You would not need to be negotiating. This should have already been done through Deb and Jody.
Oh,
So that
I'm
list that I
so
sent
sorry, I didn't
over.
understand that. Who is doing that, Deb and Jody?
Deb Canterbury and Jody B.
Yep.
Jody.
Maybe
Deb
we'll
isn't
consolidate
here,
that
I'm
and
here.
resend it. Maybe she's lost that one, Jody.
Do you have that email that has a
Jody.
spreadsheet?
Nancy.
I'll have to,
Maybe we can
I'll
resend.
resend it. I'll
Yeah.
resend
Okay,
it to
thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
oh,
'Cause
wow.
I
And
did
so
have
the-
one-
so the price should be consistent.
Should be
amongst all of us.
consistent. Yours may be $50 more just for gas or a
Okay,
little travel
okay.
time,
So
but
the prices that we have are generally here in the valley. If you're a little bit outside, then you might have to negotiate.
absolutely.
How much
Tucson,
extra?
yeah.
But
Tucson.
$250 extra, it seems excessive.
Well, actually, I'm sorry, it's 200 extra,
There you go.
if not 300. I
Yeah.
talked to some of these
Oh,
bands, and the moment they hear they coming to Tucson, they immediately go up.
Oh, for
And-
Well, you're
Tucson.
2 hours away though. You're 2 hours. at
Yeah,
least.
that's
So
4
that's 4
hours
hours.
travel.
4 hours.
It's a
Still
4-hour
doesn't
gig.
take that much money to get in
Yeah,
one.
well,
But
but it's your time too. 4 hours is a
Yeah,
long
a long
time.
time. It'd be
if
like-
they're bringing a drummer usually comes separately. So now they start thinking about more gas money. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I really think.
I mean,
you
some of them,
You probably have some great bands down there you're in a college town. I think Tucson's
Actually do.
probably got a lot
Yeah.
of great entertainment.
Tons of Western, tons of country.
Yay.
So for the next season for the country kind of country
Perfect.
music, we're gonna have plenty. So
Yeah.
they
Yes.
got it
She
nailed
even has
down.
a roper.
There
I
used to
hope
be
that
a
you
really
all
good
are talking
80s
with the
band
roper.
in Tucson, an 80s band. Anya, have you heard of a good 80s band? I'm trying to remember the name of them.
Illuminati's is what Deb
But they were in
uses.
Tucson because I saw
Oh.
them at a lot of parties
Mm.
and they were 80s. They were good.
You do have down in Tucson, Joe Bourne.
Yes.
He is a kind of a crooner or 50s romantic. He would be great for like a Valentine's.
do you have his contact
It's in the spreadsheet.
list? Okay, I'll
The
check.
email, phone number, everything. He
What's
also
his
does
name
a
again?
solo.
Joe.
Joe Bourne.
Okay.
He's quite famous. He's
Good.
got a big write up on him.
Jody, you're gonna
really
resend
good.
that spreadsheet? I don't know. if
I will
have the
today.
last And
Thank
this is a
And
updated one?
Jackie, I would work with Kim and see if you can't negotiate a better deal with some of the bands if you guys do back to back.
Mhm.
So if they're already coming down, if they know they're gonna get 2 gigs, they might be able to do something a
They're
little
gonna
better
have to
for
stay
you.
at a hotel too, so.
Right.
mm,
But
mm,
it's better than
Absolutely.
just 1 gig. So you
6
might be
hours
able to.
travel. Mhm,
True.
yeah.
I do have some single guys that are willing to travel down there. Pretty
Send them to
reasonable.
Carrie.
It's the single guys. Maybe Carrie can drive them down and save a little more on gas too.
Okay.
They're all on the list, but yeah, I'll resend that. I've had a couple updates, so I might wait till a little later
Right.
this afternoon if anybody else
Yeah,
has
and-
updates from that list.
Now, did Deb consolidate hers with your list?
Yes.
I was wondering.
Her and I talked on the phone and she
Okay.
gave me the prices of who she talked to.
Great.
But I had a bigger list built that
Right.
had the emails and phone numbers, so we just worked off of mine.
Thank you. Thank you.
But
for
yeah,
doing
she
that.
worked very hard on it too.
Thank you so much.
Christina
Christina?
gave us some stuff too.
Go, Christina.
Oh, okay, so, next week is the TAD showcase. So on Wednesday, are we just all gonna, what time are we gonna meet at Farnsworth Hall?
Well, I've got it in my Outlook. What time does it start?
I thought it was 10. but-
It starts at 10, but they said doors open at 9:15 and it's now only one day instead of 2 days.
Oh,
Oh, yay.
how did you get that update? I haven't seen that.
I just got an email this morning.
Oh,
Wow. Is it?
well,
on
I was
Wednesday?
just getting emails,
day
just
is
an FYI, so that you know, I got an email last night about 4:50 from Tad saying that the Bette Midler, Barry Manilow show, the gal who was Bette Midler had to go into the hospital, is having back surgery and will not be performing. So guess who's flying in?
Bette Midler.
Barbara Streisand. So we will be sending out an email to, or actually it'll be through MailChimp, not MailChimp, I'm sorry, WebTix. All of those that have purchased tickets, they'll be getting a notification that the entertainer has changed from Bette Midler to Barbara Streisand. And we've got a new flyer that we'll be sending out so that if you
Oh.
want to put that on, I think it's going to be might even be a greater show. Barb had a bunch of great hits. So anyway, that's changing for Friday night, just an FYI.
All right.
Yeah, Nikki,
So what time are we all gonna meet there?
9:30? You can meet, I mean, if whoever gets there first, I told them we'd be 20 of us, so start having little signs. Everybody bring signs that say reserved. Or
Good.
just spread yourself out.
So is it Wednesday then? Is it the 20?
420.
20?
Yes. I just sent
Oh,
out the
420.
email that she sent me. I just forwarded it to all of you.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay.
And it's the same place where we were at before, correct?
Yes, yes,
Okay, thank
at
you.
the hall venue
Okay.
at Farnsworth. Carrie,
Unfortunately, as you know, Justin and I probably won't be there because he's having surgery Friday. So
that's all right.
we probably won't be there. I just now thought about that. It's like, oh, oops, I signed us up and we won't be there.
And there will be, they usually do a really nice book too. And I will make comments in mine and then transpose them so that you've got it too. Okay, awesome. So-
Nikki, I'm gonna add the Donnie Grubb information to that spreadsheet before I send it back out.
Oh,
Do you
that's
have
awesome.
pricing that you could forward to me and I'll add that as well?
Yes, I will do that.
If there's anybody else too that they
Okay.
used and didn't see on the spreadsheet, please send to me.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, so everybody has talked except Tracy at Tower Point. How are you? This is like the first time she's been able to be on the camera too. We are so proud of you guys.
Okay, I'm off mute too, so that's good. Oh, so Cinco de Mayo, I just want to say we are having a dance party. We are going to have a dance party that afternoon for Cinco de Mayo. And we have lots of new things planned for this summer. And I will send out a list of things. We're doing orientation to all our rooms. So that
Nice.
everybody, that all our coordinators and everybody can share with us all of these wonderful things that we have that are in lockdown and nobody can use. So we're trying to figure out how we can access that.
And Tower Point has more hidden corners and things that you
do.
probably don't even know you have yet. So
Yeah, we just found 2 TVs on the wall. So that was
treasure
exciting.
hunt.
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. Tina, what about you? How's everything going? Awesome. Oh, look at her. She has the biggest woohoo you've ever heard. And during our meeting, she's like as quiet as a mouse. Wanted you to know that Carrie and I are working on an activity director manual that you will all have. We'll put it on the S drive too, but we're going to have one that's going to have soup to nuts. What an activity director, your list of what your job description is, what your assistant's job description is, what a wow party is, how to use a POS system, our concert series, how to look at contracts, so that it will be, and it'll have an index so that you can kind of just look through there and see if there's anything you'd like to see. Just drop us an email telling us, I'd like information on this. Is that possibly in the AD manual? As we started, Carrie says, well, I'm going to be going away. I'll try and have it finished. And while she was gone, what did I add? A half a dozen more topics. So, you know, we're just finding that there's so much information that we've all used during the years, that those of you that are new, we're just assuming that you know that your coffee and donuts serving table should always have linen draped to the floor. It should always be covered. We shouldn't just have plastic on the tables with the table legs showing. Those are things that we assume, but we know now that that's not the case, and that maybe that's something that we drilled 5 years ago and just assumed everyone knew. And now we have new people in there, and you don't know that any serving table that you have should not just have plastic on it. It should have a drapes. You used to call them skirting, and you'd Velcro them on and there'd be these little clips. Now there's drapes, and they go from floor to floor on either side all the way around. And it just looks like we care. It looks like it's an event that's happening, and that should be on your tables at all times. When you're doing a coffee and donuts, when you're having a sales meeting, whatever you're doing, those tables should be draped. When you're having a party, it should not be a party with your plastic lifetime tables. There should be some kind of a covering on them. There's bolts and bolts of the plastic that you can order to go on your tables. And then we have literally thousands and thousands of overlays. You don't have to wash them. We give you a yellow bag. You put them in the yellow bag, we wash them, and they're ready for the next. So we have to remember, we're not a campground. We're not a KOA. We are 5-star resorts. And we just need to make sure that we always look like it, like we aren't just throwing something together, that we're prepared for it. So we'll talk more about that, but we're excited about the handbook. If you can think of anything, we may like for each one of you to jot down what you do for your WOW parties and how you work with your sales. Carrie and I really have not been part of the WOW party description and how that works. So what we'd like to hear from all of you, and then we'll just put down in the book what a WOW party is, and how you should go forward with it. Always remember, you're working with your sales team. They're part of the team. Thank you so much for adding articles in your newsletter with information and with their picture on it too, because that just does show that it's managers, activities, and sales, all three working together. So you guys are awesome. Can you think of anything else? Jody? Okay.
There we go, unmuted. Any word on the mass through the summer for us?
No, there's no
Nothing
word.
yet.
That's why we're still doing, in fact, I think I mentioned, besides the summer
Zoom.
planning and the mask, yeah, we are
Yeah.
just moving forward. When and if they say we can, I'll be the first one. We'll have
Right.
a bring the mask party.
Let's do it. I'm ready. Ready. It's a hot summer.
Oh gosh,
It's a
Christina.
hot summer.
What about the fitness classes for this summer?
Fitness classes are going to be
Oh, yeah.
happening as far as Aqua. I believe there's 4 places that the Aqua bikes are going to be. We're not having a ton of them. I think Angie's got 1 or 2 that I want you to just have the ones that are the most popular. I think Aqua bikes and Torquata, and Angie's got 1 that she wanted to add. We are not going to be
balance.
full flat. Yeah, just I want you to
Maybe.
do the ones that were the most popular for your resort, and work with her on that. So it's not going to be full-fledged. It's kind of a time where if you want to even set up in your ballroom where the doors are open at 7 a.m. in the morning, and you can tell them the days and they can walk inside the ballroom. You can even have it where there's a sign that if you start here and walk around to this point, you're walking 1 mile. How many laps does it take to go a mile, so that they know that. I remember with my kids during the summertime, during the good old days, we'd go to the mall at 6 a.m. in the morning. They'd have one side door open and we'd walk for miles inside there. Had to get those kids tired. But I think that keeping our people active, letting them walk, it's too hot to walk outside during the summertime. So let's make it convenient for them. Have your game set up so that while they're walking around, somebody might be in there doing a puzzle. Guess what? They can say hi to each other and get to know each other. You should make a place where your moaners and groaners don't think that they all leave during the summertime, a place where they can come with their coffee and they're solving the problems of the world, and we need all the help we can get. So let those moaners and groaners meet and solve the problems of the world. I'm sick of Fox News. Let's go to them. I'm focusing on them. So
Can we put our rooms back together? I mean, we still have our storage pods with chairs and tables. Can we put our club rooms?
That's what Carrie and I did. We put Lifestyle University back together. We are thinking positive. Let's start doing that. Now, you're not going to want to take out your outdoor patio chairs and stuff during the summertime. It's going to rot them. You should be pulling a lot of those, back into the storage containers or into your rooms. But
we still have a room social distance. So if this summer we can put our chairs and tables back the way they used to be, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, Jode.
I had known last year Mark had asked us all to shut down our large ballrooms to help with heat and air and all that.
Be typical. That's what we should be doing.
So we'll have them walk in our smaller rooms.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And now I know Nancy's not going to be using her ballroom because you won't believe that there's no air conditioning in your ballroom.
Ooh.
What?
And you?
What? No.
Oh, I mean, surprise.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Yeah. But your ballroom may be pretty cool in the morning though, Jody. If you wanted to say they could be, I don't know, you could just check it out and see, but give them a place that they can walk, even if it's.
Well, we have a couple of rooms that are still good size.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome, you guys. Anything else? Next week, we'll be meeting with Mark. Put your list together. Carrie and I would love for you to send us a list of things that you would like question or for us to bring up as topics too. Don't forget, our retreat this year is going to be yeehaw. Welcome, partner. Howdy, partner. So it will be Western. I almost thought I bought a stagecoach, but he sold it before I got to it. But we're looking for things. We know that look at all you amazing women, people that are sitting here on this Zoom with so many ideas. We are power right here. We're going to come up with some amazing things for this next season, and we want you to be part of it. Carrie and I are not the ones that know all. We look to you and say, you guys, you have a lot of things that you bring to the table, and we're so glad to be part of this team. Carrie, you got anything you want to say?
Well, one area we're needing a little bit of guidance for our AD manual is parades. And I know you've all done parades. So if you don't mind just sending me an email, just kind of how you set up your parades. I'm sure everyone might do it a little differently.
They might do it a little different. A lot of them have coordinators, and the coordinators usually have some kind of we do this, sign up here and do this.
Right.
Also, another one that we didn't talk about is maybe our holiday street events where they decorate and you have contests and stuff. That might be something we want to put under holidays, and how you judge it or what you do when you have that. I remember as an activity director having a night that everyone just drove around or walked around and saw all the lights of the resort. And then we came back to to the ballroom, everyone voted right there. And then we had hot chocolate and wassail and cookies. And it was just, it wasn't the tree lighting. It was just a fun get together, and people, even they knew we were coming and that we were walking, and they'd have fire pits out, or they'd be handing out cookies. They were really trying to bribe us, and it worked. So just some ideas that we want to put things together. We want this to be a book that you're going to grab and just say, this has got a wealth of knowledge, and it's your wealth of knowledge. That's great. Anything else in there, Carrie?
Sherry?
Anything else in the book that you want help with?
Well, Sherry, did you have a comment along that lines? real
No, it
quick?
wasn't along that line. It was something.
Okay.
Okay, Sherry?
You know what, if I have certain topics, I'd like to send out an email. That would make it quick, and then
Perfect.
if you all could just respond with some ideas, that would really help me out with
Perfect.
typesetting all this for you.
Sounds good.
I just, real quick question. I had to step out for a few minutes. For the theme next year, the Western theme, are we taking it from October through or starting in January like we did with
No,
Johnson?
we're going to start it in January.
Oh, okay.
I just think that kind of gives us a nice division. I mean, you can bring in a few little country things just to give them a wet their whistle. Yeah, but most of it will be just like, I want to tell you, I was so impressed. You guys did such a great job with running the theme all the way through. I had no idea there were so many nautical words and phrases that you could use. It was like, oh my gosh. And they weren't even pirate ones. It blew me away. So you guys did a great job. Thank you so much. I mean, your whale watching, all of your fun stuff was fun. Nancy.
Yes, I just have a quick question, and I'm just kind of confused about when we have theme nights, we have first, second, third prize. And I'm not really, I'd like some feedback on how y'all do that, determine who your first, second, third prize goes to, how you judge them, who are your judges. And I'm not sure, we tried it a little bit different ways, and I've not been taught, and I've not talked to anybody about that. So if you have ideas to share with me about.
Yeah, let's just put that all together. Are you talking the street Christmas lighting?
No, it's just like when we have theme nights, I noticed that they were advertised as, like, we had gangsters and dames, and we had bikers and babes, and you have all these different, and Woodstock, and Sunflower. It was set up that Sunflower gives prizes for the first, second, third prize.
I don't actually really personally even like that. It's almost like a king and queen. And all of a sudden it becomes a competition. It should be just fun.
Maybe Halloween do prizes for but
best costume.
not theme night.
Yeah.
So you all don't, I thought maybe that was a CalAm kind of required thing. And I know it was set up, before I came on board, with all that. But, and I never really liked that idea because it was so, it was so confusing. Who do you get to judge? And the band doesn't want to judge. And
you don't want to judge.
I don't want to judge. I just didn't like that idea with the prize.
We want
do
people
away
to have
with
fun.
it.
Yeah, do away.
Okay, who said that?
Jody and I did too, but you know what? You can still judge the dogs. Go ahead, judge the dogs if you want, only if they're wearing a cute costume. But otherwise, you know what? Everyone loves their dog. You just got to give everybody a cute little something. And don't forget, we have buttons, so you can actually have it where you take a picture of the dog and you take a picture of the resident, and they end up with twins. It's amazing how people look like their dogs sometimes.
So I can do away with first, second, third prizes for theme nights.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No,
Thank you so much.
Can we do, like, we've done the ugly sweater, Christmas sweater contest. We do that, and then Halloween, and that's it.
Okay. Oh, I'm so glad.
And then maybe a street contest, but
the lights. Yeah. And please send us in. I'm sure lots of you already have flyers or how you do that. When I was an activity director, I actually asked my vendors to come in, some of the vendors that are advertising in our newsletter, and just pick a specific time that they come in and no one knows who they are, then they come back and tell me who they think. They have no bias. They don't know anyone. And we've done it.
That's a good idea.
Mhm.
Okay,
Very good.
great. Thank you all. I appreciate it.
I have one question about May, because we were told, try to limit it to one big event a month, but in May, we have 3 big things. We have Cinco de Mayo, Mother's Day, and Memorial Day.
You can make them simple.
Okay,
They don't have to be big. They can be very, very simple. I mean,
as long as we're not spending a lot of money, we can still do like the card
Yeah,
bingo every week and the
absolutely.
paint party once a month.
you don't want to forget.
Just no
them.
big events.
Yeah, you don't want to forget your mothers, Jody.
Well, of course
Come
not.
on. And then when you do that,
Even though she's in heaven,
well,
we'll
that's why
still
you
remember
sure
her.
Still, you want to remember.
Yes,
That's right. We want to
of
show
course.
appreciation. Absolutely.
And we're all mothers.
And then you don't want to slight the fathers, even though they
Right.
don't really care. I don't care.
There's
about
not much going on in June, so
Yeah.
they're pretty good, except for Flag Day.
Yeah, yeah. So, all right, you
Okay.
guys, you're awesome.
So we can do that.
Thank you so much. Now, this is being recorded. You don't have to watch the whole thing, but for anyone that wants to go back, if they find something, I don't know how they even find it. Do you send it to
I'm
them?
gonna put it on YouTube and I'll send you guys the YouTube link. Now, I'm
Awesome.
not gonna edit it, okay? I'm just gonna,
Sorry, Nancy, we're gonna know that you were late for the
Gosh,
meeting.
dang it.
Oh yeah, guys, I hope you have fun during these. We want to get to know you. We want to have fun together. I'm hoping that someday we also will be able to meet together. Those are fun times. We need to be able to see you face to face and
Yeah.
give you a hug. I'm sorry.
No.
Starr, could we do maybe icebreakers again? Because there are a lot of new activity directors that we don't know and they don't know us.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe each meeting we get together and do a
Good
couple of
idea.
them.
Would you like to be in charge of that?
I guess I will.
That's perfect.
That's usually the rule. If you bring it up, you're
Do
doing
you
it.
see how a true activity director works?
You know, Star, we could all get together and do a lunch bunch and
You
see each
get in
other.
charge. You be in
person.
charge of that
there you go,
too.
Christine.
Yeah, I'll see how that goes.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
I'm
We'd love
ready.
it. We could FaceTime. Anya, it's only 2.5 hours. Just drive on up. Come on, Jackie, grab Kim. Come on up. We'll do lunch bunch. As long as it's not here in the corp office. You guys rock. Come on over, Nancy. You guys are awesome. Have a great, great day. And we will talk with you soon.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
thank you.
Great,
See you
thanks.
next week. We'll see you
Bye,
next week
everybody.
at the concert, TAD concerts.
Bye.
Oh, yes, at the TAG.
On the
conference.
20th.
All right.
And hopefully
Okay.
Friday night at Val Vista.
Yeah.
Be
Okay,
there.
all right.
Thanks.